Chapter 6. Cal called me after dinner on Halloween night. "We're going headless, right?" "Right," I replied. "So I don't need a costume, right?" "Right. You can use one of my masks to put on your shoulders." "We're not going to trick or treat. We're just going to scare kids, right?" "Right," I repeated. "And we're going to wreck Mr. Benson's house." "Cool," Cal said. "So hurry over, okay? It's already dark out. Time to get moving." I grabbed two ugly rubber monster masks from my collection and hurried downstairs. A horrible surprise awaited me in the front hall. A kid in a shiny black Darth Vader costume stepped through the doorway. At first, I thought it was just a trick-or-treater. But then, through his heavy plastic mask, he said, "Hey, Brandon," and I knew it was Vinny. "What are you doing here?" I demanded. Mom walked into the front hall. "Doesn't Vinny look scary?" she asked. She patted him on top of his plastic head. "What is he doing here?" I repeated. "You're taking trick-or-treating," Mom replied. I let out a groan. "And you're taking Maya and her three friends, too," Mom announced. "Excuse me?" I cried. "I'm what?" "You're being a good big brother," Mom replied. "No way," I protested. "No way." Maya and her three friends came bouncing into the hall. One of them was Ariel the mermaid. Maya and the other two were all princesses. Yuck. Maya was pulling on her cardboard tiara. The other two princesses were pushing down their net skirts and adjusting their glittery masks. The mermaid was tugging at her tail. "Let's go," Maya said. "No way," I screamed. Mom narrowed her eyes at me. "I expect you to be a good sport about this, Brandon." Before I could reply, Cal stuck his head in the front door. "What's up?" he asked. "You and Brandon are doing a good deed," Mom answered. "You're taking these kids trick-or-treating." Cal nearly swallowed his tongue. "We are?" he cried. "Let's go," Vinny whined. "It's hot inside this mask. I'm sweating." Mom stood over me, arms crossed, staring me down. I could see that I had no choice. "No problem," I whispered to Cal. "We'll dump them as fast as we can." Okay. "Let's go, you kids," I declared. I led the way out the front door. "Take good care of them," Mom called after me. "And don't let Vinny get scared." "Yeah, sure," I muttered. I led them across the front lawn toward the neighbor's house. It was a clear, cool night. Wispy clouds wriggled across the full moon like snakes. The perfect night for scaring kids, but I was stuck with these babies. The girls were giggling excitedly and talking nonstop. Vinny held his heavy mask in place with both hands and tried to keep up. I could see small groups of trick-or-treaters all the way down the road. Cal and I guided Vinny and the girls to 3 or 4 houses and watched from the driveway as they received their sweets. "This isn't any fun," Cal grumbled. "Let's dump the brats," I whispered. His eyes grew wide. "Huh? Just leave them?" "Sure, why not?" I replied. "But there were only 7, Cal protested. "They'll be fine," I told him. "What could happen? They won't even notice we're gone." Maya and her friends stood in front of an empty house, talking to another group of girls. I didn't see Vinny. "Come on, run!" I ordered Cal. The two of us took off across the street. The girls didn't even see us. We turned the corner and kept running. After about half the street, I heard footsteps behind us, and Vinny's whiny voice. "Hey, wait for me! Wait for me!" He came running up to us, breathing hard under the mask, breathing like the real Darth Vader. "I couldn't see you," he cried. "It's hard to see in this mask." He started scratching his shoulders, then struggled to scratch his back. "This costume is so itchy, and it's boiling in here." "Maybe it should have been Princess Leia," I joked. Vinny turned his black plastic head from side to side. "Where are the girls?" he asked. They decided to go on ahead," I told him. Cal nodded in agreement. "Maybe you want to catch up with them," he suggested to Vinny. "No, I'll stick with you," Vinny replied. "It's kind of scary out here. It's so dark." Cal and I both sighed. We started walking again, across the street, then another. Vinny kept running up to the houses, ringing the doorbells, holding up his Darth Vader trick-or-treat bag of sweets. He's going to ruin everything, Cal grumbled. We haven't been able to scare one kid. We'll dump him too, I replied. I have a plan. But he's such a wimp, Cal said, shaking his head. When he sees we're gone, he'll probably start to cry. No problem. Someone will feel sorry for him and take him home, I replied. But what will your mom say? Cal asked. I shrugged. I'll tell her Vinny ran off. I told her we spent the whole night searching for him. Cool, Cal replied. We led Vinny to the haunted house at the dead end. It was old and creepy and surrounded by thick woods. We're not going to lock him in, are we? Cal whispered. No, we'll just ditch him here, I whispered back. I turned to the mighty Darth Vader. Go and try this place, I said. I gave him a push into the weed-choked driveway. The broken-down old house had no lights. I could barely see Vinny step into the front porch. Cal and I took off, running as fast as we could. We had only gone a few steps when we heard a frightening scream. Vinny! Cal and I stopped and listened. We both gasped as we heard another shrill scream, cut off in the middle, and then silence.